This time we're going to be taking a look at the USS Intrepid. It's a prize ship for the Balance of Terror OP. And we'll get right in and take a look. We have our Constitution dial. Same one that we got with the TOS Enterprise. There's our Constitution class maneuvers. Pretty average for a Federation ship. Interesting that it has the 2 backward and not the 1. I think there's a couple other ships that have that same combo. But it has pretty much everything else in the middle there except for those 1 tight turns. There we have our named USS Intrepid, Federation faction. 3 attack, 1 agility, 4 hull, 3 shield. With 2 weapon upgrades, 2 crew upgrades for 22 points. The standard Federation evade, target, lock, scan, and battle station. And the ability is when attacking a ship at range 3, if there's a scan token beside your ship, the defending ship rolls -2 defense dice instead of the normal -1. Really nice. There's a lot of cards out there that get you that free scan, as well as a lot of things that trigger off having scan tokens. So always nice to have a passive ability that's going to trigger off them as well. Then we have our generic Federation Constitution class. You lose 1 shield and 1 weapon slot for 20 points. And I haven't checked, but lately all the generics have been the same as the previous generics we've gotten, though we have had some Romulan ones I think in the past where the slot loadout was different, so keep that in mind. For captains, we have Matt Decker, Captain Skill at 2, 1 elite talent for 1 point. As an action, you can target a ship within range 1 of your ship, including this ship, which normally you can't target yourself, which is nice. Target ship gains +1 attack die this round, and then suffers 1 damage to its hull. Kind of an interesting ability, nice to boost up the attack. Damaging yourself in the process kind of sucks, but if you need that extra die, there's plenty of ways out there nowadays to fix hull. Don't know if I'd use it on this ship particular because it's not quite as durable, but some of the larger ships with a lot more hull and shield, it might be worth it. Decker's also an admiral. Gives you -1 to your captain skill. Still get that elite talent for 1 point, and then that becomes your fleet action. We have our generic Federation captain. Captain skill of 1 for 0 points. For elite talents, we have flag officer for 4 points. After you move, you may discard this card to target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2 of your ship. The target ship can immediately perform a free action. Free actions are always a nice thing. 4 points is pretty balanced for what that is. It's a little high, but then again, this free actions are really useful. So, and also, I don't know if I'm the only one, maybe it's the gamer in me, but the picture looks like the guy has a bunch of D4s glued to his shirt. They're supposed to be like, I'm assuming they're supposed to be like little gems, but it was kind of entertaining. For crew, we have the Vulcan engineer. 3 points. As an action, if there are no enemy ships within range 1 to 3 of your ship, repair 1 to your shields. You do not have to pay a faction penalty when assigning this to a Vulcan ship. It's kind of a nice card. It sucks that it's limited to shields only. I think the Federation already have better engineers, better repair cards out there. If you're already using them on one of your other ships, he's still kind of useful. But I see him getting more use with Vulcan fleets than actually with Federation ones. Kind of funny that they went through the trouble of naming him Vulcan Engineer and giving him that special ability, but didn't give him just dual faction. Next up we have Astrogator. This one's 3 points. As an action, discard this card to perform an additional non-red maneuver on your maneuver dial with a speed of 1 or 2. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Constitution class ship, but can fill a crew or weapon upgrade slot on your upgrade bar. No ship can be equipped with more than 1. Kind of a neat little thing. Takes up an oddball slot. I'm not sure why it's weapon or crew and not tech slot, but I guess none of the Constitutions have the tech slot, so that would explain that. But either way, it's an interesting little thing. Anything that lets you pull that extra maneuver, especially with the wide fire arc on the Constitution classes, can definitely come in handy in the right situations. For weapon upgrades, we have dual phaser banks for 3 points. When attacking with your primary weapon during the roll attack dice step, you may disable this card to gain +1 die to the attack. Upgrade can only be purchased for a Federation ship and costs +3 points for any ship other than a Constitution class. No ships can be equipped with more than one. Interesting upgrade for Constitutions. I think 6 points for 1 extra attack on the larger ships, or pretty much anything else, is a little steep. But there's other ways to boost up their attacks too. So as far as going on the Constitution, still a nice upgrade. Though +1 main attack would only be 2 points instead of 3, so they're kind of overcosting you a little bit for it. I'm sure it's for a balance type reason, but there's other cards out there that give you bonuses to your stats for lower price. So it's kind of iffy. If you can manage to get both on there, then definitely this is worth it. To bump your main attack to a 4 with this alone for 3 points. It's a little high. Depends on what you're going to be doing with it, I guess, and what other cards you have equipped on there. For the rest of the expansion, we have our 3 shield tokens. We have a evasive, scan, and battle station token, a disable token, we have an auxiliary and critical token, target lock A3, the additional rules card for our admiral, along with a fleet action and admiral token. This was an OP prize, so there's no mission scenario included in this one. The ship itself is the same model we got for the teeny prize, though this one seems to be a little bit better put together. It's a little more straight. You see my nacelles are still a little crooked on there. It's done in that silver plastic that they've been using for all the Federation ships lately. To be honest, I think it's an improvement over the bluish gray. Although the TOS Enterprise was a whitish, so that one kind of fits. Otherwise, it's the same model. This one really lacks any detail. I mean, the saucer section is just plain and smooth. Definitely need someone with some skill with a brush to do much of anything with these ones, since there's no Aztecing panels or anything on there to use to help you bring out that detail. There we have our base for the USS Intrepid. 180-degree front arc, just like the old Constitution class. And no rear arc, sadly. And there we have our generic Constitution class. Again, 180-degree front arc. Very nice with such a maneuverable ship to have such a large arc. Overall, it's a decent expansion. Like I said, this is one of those where it's at the level a prize ship should be. There's a lot of useful things in here, but nothing that's a die-hard must-have. So, if you don't happen to win one or don't happen to get your hands on one, it's not going to kill your ability to play the game, which is the way they should be. That said, if you do happen to win and pick one of these up, there are a couple interesting cards in here. Decker as an admiral is kind of neat. The Vulcan engineer, if you need that second or third mechanic in your fleet, and flag officer for that added free action, are all nice cards. Definitely another one of those. If you're a faction pure Federation player, you're going to get more out of it than anyone else. If you're just looking to collect whatever it is that you play, and that doesn't happen to be one of them, then you can skip this one, and it's really not going to hurt you in the end. That's about it for this, and we'll see you in the next one.